Good evening and welcome, folks, to another day, another podcast from the official art community. This is Fortunate coming at you. We are now sitting on November 28th. That means this is our 28th podcast with you all. We are very happy to be here with you, and I'm going to pass the floor over to our wonderful founder, Mr. Atlas.
Thank you for the introduction. Fortunate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ARK. My name is Atlas, and this is the podcast number 28. We are coming with great updates and information. Today's a very exciting day as folks are able to start depositing their pre-sale and private NFTs into the system. A lot of excitement, a lot of questions, and a lot of work being done here by the team on the back end and the front end. We just finished up probably about 20 minutes ago. We finished up a AMA with a fantastic group of investors out of Australia. Those are the Crypto Badgers. They did a few days ago a fantastic review of the white paper on YouTube. We loved the video. It was done very professionally, and great set of guys. They've been here from the beginning. They were in Bankroll Flow. They've been through other ROI dApps, and these guys are telling us, hey, this is the best absolute thing they've ever seen. So just for us here at ARK, we're humbled by the response. Those type of comments, just make it so worthwhile to understand that our intention of doing something that really raised the bar for all investors is something that getting that response, that feedback, just it's extremely fulfilling, guys. It just shows us we're in the right direction. It took a long time to get here, but it was all worth it. And there's so much more to come if folks like that are really taking such an interest into ARK. So with that, I know that we have some updates from Mr. Crypto Jan. There's been a lot of requests from the community. He's been paying a lot of attention, working harder with the rest of the team. And Mr. Crypto Jan, if you want to maybe expand a bit on some of those features that you've been coding for us today.
Sure, Atlas. I would gladly take the floor here. Tonight we've been coding a lot, over 500 lines myself. There are a lot of questions regarding some administrative functions that I've been coding. A lot of questions in the main chat of people wanting to know their downline and their upline. So all hands on deck to get those lists online.
Thank you so much, Crypto Jan, for tackling that and putting so much effort. Over the weekend, yesterday, Sunday. How long was it? Sunday or Saturday? You did like 10 hours over here with us and taking the time away from your family to make sure everything's going perfectly here.
That was on Sunday. We want to do everything perfect, right? So on Sunday, we actually Gordy and we spent both 9.5 hours on the front end, making it pixel perfect, because we just want to deliver 9.5 hours on a Sunday.
And thank your wife for us, and perhaps tell her what I tell my wife. Don't worry, I'm going to cover you in diamonds one day. That's a joke, but really do thank her for us. And I know my wife makes a lot of sacrifices, but she knew what she got into many years ago when we started dating, and of course before marrying me, we had lived together. So dedication, the work here to 11 p.m. She'll be knocked out sleeping probably in the next 20-30 minutes, and I won't see her till tomorrow, generally when I'm going to bed. These are the sacrifices that I've made in my personal life, because I understand that's what it takes to succeed and to be able to really be a leader and effective in doing so. When the other folks are watching the Netflix and eating the popcorn and having fun and having a balanced life, I think that's where folks who really go the extra mile are going to find success, because there's just no competition. The other guys are taking it easy. And right now, it's really, really where it counts. But the nature of the project, unfortunately, it demands that level of commitment on a daily basis. You cannot sit back, you cannot turn around and take it easy, because there has to be continuous, absolute momentum and growth to be able not to just thrive, but to have a sustainability on a multi-year basis. So a lot of work here in the beginning, of course, to get everything up and running, but then the management of the system, the upgrades that have to come to the mobile app and the whole system security, innovation, and really being able to pivot when we hit the bull market, as well as the growth we're going to be getting. We'll have our own little bull market here happening in ARK, regardless of what's happening out in the other financial markets, because we're going after the investors who are looking for that passive income that have never been into crypto or DeFi. So very exciting, a huge task, a big responsibility, but I really couldn't think of a better team to be able to make that a reality. Let's get this crypto. Mr. Brett, how are you doing tonight? Are there any updates that you would like to share with us, sir?
Hey, yeah, doing great. Thank you. Thanks for the update, Crypto Jan. That's great. We can communicate that back to the audience. And if the admins want to post that Crypto Badgers white paper review that they did, I think that'd be helpful to a lot of people as well. They kind of walk through it really well. It's really high level, and they're smart guys. They come from a bunch of other ROI dApps, and so they have a lot of experience, as you mentioned, years of experience in the space. And so to hear them, positively reflect on it, it's a big encouragement. And those guys are super smart. We just jumped off an AMA with them, and I think about it pretty well. Looking forward to more of those with people that are, giving us a well-balanced chance. There's been other YouTubers that have just kind of, just missed the project and carried out certain narratives, but the people that are looking at it a little closer and bring some real experience and dig into the white paper, they understand it. They see that there's some difference here. They got right away that, this is not a fork. It's been completely re-engineered from the bottom up, and it's built for sustainability, and a lot of people are starting to see the difference. So yeah, that's one big thing we had today. I had an initial meeting with some videographers here locally, talking about an explainer video that we want to do, and really the beginnings of our mass market play, and building out that landing page, funnel page that anyone can use. That's part of ARK, and attracting people that may not be sophisticated crypto users, but allowing them to have the tools that then they can take out into the real world and invite other people to come learn about the ArkFi system and DeFi in general. We're going to try to keep it really high level and teach people about the importance of DeFi, especially right now as we see a big push towards centralization, centralized finance, and talks about CBDCs and all those kind of things. It's real important that we get our message out there, and we start, getting people to think about their assets, what they're holding. Is it being eroded in value? Are they seeing the inflation affect them? Does it make sense to keep all of their money in one place? So these are the questions we want to raise and really bring awareness to what we're trying to do here, not just from an investment opportunity standpoint, but also just a fundamental shift in how people view their money, their assets, and then give those choices to people as we move forward with what we see as being a much bigger plan for the new quantum financial system. So yeah, some great things there. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. I can't remember what it is right now. Shout out to T-Drip. He's been really helping in some of the other communities, clarify, answer questions. Great to have him out there as being another expert. And he's always been a level-headed guy and great advisor here, helper. He's a syndicate team leader. And so just appreciate his support and him stepping up during these times. We're real busy in the background right now, especially as we lead up to launch. Tons of marketing stuff going on, aggressive AMA schedule. We've got some YouTubers lined up. So we'll be handling a lot of that. And the more that other community members can step in and answer some of the questions is a huge help. So I appreciate him. Thank you.
Couldn't agree more. T-Drip is really become a superstar here in our community. That's why he was upgraded to become a syndicate founder from the first moment he really stepped into our podcast and asked some very specific questions that to me seemed very intelligent and coming from a good place, but also wanting firm answers, doing due diligence, which is what every investor really needs to do as they make a decision on the investment here at ARK. So yeah, a lot of appreciation for me as well to Mr. T-Drip. And there's other folks, Florida Realtor, he's here present with us.
Florida Realtor. Yeah, I saw him as well. Yeah, he was out there running interference for us early on. So I appreciate that too, buddy.
Yeah, amazing superstars that are really, the folks that we're onboarding and bringing close to us here, the team that have earned through their efforts and through action, which is so important. To sit around and the sidelines is easy, but to go ahead and do some work here, and especially with the outside groups where, Brett and I and the rest of the team, we really had to, I think, stay partial and not get into a lot of the back and forth and commentary, as we have to, represent ourselves here in our home and not get involved into a lot of that sort of dramatic, toxic environment that a lot of these groups have become because of the situations that had nothing really to do with ARK. It's really to do with the other projects that are unfortunately going through extremely difficult times. And the whole reason we're here is because of the solution to those problems that unfortunately are happening. It is a heinous debacle, and we're poised. We're ready. We've made sure to build everything into the code at the most rudimentary level of balance and fairness, equality for all investors on a long-term basis. So again, T-Drip, Florida Realtor, you guys are absolute superstars. Your star has been rising. Everybody's watching it. And we know there's going to be more. There's going to be more folks that will come here and will want to roll up their sleeves and get to work and help make this community open eyes of folks that are too lazy to spend the time it takes. And for some folks, it can take them 10 times to read the white paper to understand it. Or they can come here to a podcast and ask a question. Speaking of questions, let's get right to it. We'd love to hear from any of you that are here present with us this evening. Feel free to mute your mic, step up, and let's have a conversation. There has to be a question somewhere, guys. I mean, admins, you guys are doing a great job, really on top of things. And that's what it shows when we step up here. There really isn't questions, but maybe somebody has a comment instead. We would love to hear, or an opinion, an idea. You're more than welcome to do so. That's why we're here for you guys every single night.
Hello, sir.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. Yeah, like you said, and hope everyone else is doing well. The availability of the mods, of yourself, of team, having nightly AMAs really covers a lot of the bases. I just wanted to bring up something, just kind of like a thought-provoking question. I hear a lot. There's a guy, what's his name, Nedu, who keeps on talking about the central bank digital currency. And I know, Brett, you were talking about that. What do you guys think? Like, why do you feel that would be such a disrupting development?
By them doing that, the central banks?
Yeah, if there was a move towards a digital currency.
Well, we've talked about several models here, particularly with Z coming back with some research, as he's always doing research and coming back here to us. And there was even one proposal last week we talked about that had a limited supply, which I thought was kind of funny, because the whole point of fiat and central banks is having the ability to print, especially in the United States and the whole Federal Reserve. But look, it's positive and it's also negative, and there's just things about it that I personally feel are good, and others that are bad. And that's the beauty of the argument of having the ability to understand that that's just a natural part of progression. And we hope that we'll be able to have their CDB, as well as let us to have our versions of a fiat peg, something like a USDC, BUSD, USDT, and so forth, and other stable coins, that they just don't eliminate it. And there's probably a lot of fear in the whole industry, in the whole space, because once they have that, maybe they want to phase out and ban everything else, kind of the same way they look at privacy coins right now, where it's just a no. They don't want anybody messing around with that, because it's all at the end about control. So I do see both positives and negatives. I'm not anti that evolution. I think that when you do that, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because it's something that's really not in your control. So that's it for me. I don't know if Brett wants to add a little bit to that, Smackworth.
Yeah, it's a really big discussion. I think for me, just personally, that as the CBDC concept grows and feels like it's gaining traction, if you want to call it that, or is a system, I want to make sure that we develop a parallel system. I want to make sure that we have one that's representing the people and not just corporate and government interests. So to me, that's why I'm in DeFi. That's why I was attracted to decentralized finance. That's why I continue to study it, and that's why I'm involved in ArkFi. So if we don't create and step up and not have fear about building a system of our own, then of course there will be only one option. So for me, it's all about choices, and it's all about using our collective energy and creativity and coming up with our own solution, and then let the the cards fall where they may. But hopefully that'll be a balanced system where we have freedom, choice, privacy, and we're not subject to programmable money that doesn't necessarily have our best interests in mind. So that's what this is all about for me. I don't really look at all the noise. I know that the CBDC is already reality. It's already reality in a lot of different countries. So to me, it's just a matter of time, and we've been given a runway here where we can either sit back and be scared and watch, or we can assemble and build it on our own, the way that we see it fit. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I don't get caught up in the fear campaigns, and everybody's calling it surveillance money or whatever else. Let them play their game and we'll play ours. That's kind of where it boils down for me.
Yeah, I wasn't I kind of just want to throw it out there for like a topic, and I appreciate your feedback on all that. I just see it as a big nothing burger. I don't really know. I mean, like when they turn the printing press on, they don't turn the printing press on. They just add digital dollars into the system. They do quantitative easing. They do this, that, the other. I don't know. I just don't know the technical aspects of like what the difference is between what we have now and what like a digital dollar would be. I mean, most dollars are digital. You know what I mean? I don't understand what the difference.
Yeah, I think the big thing to look at, just from a really high level perspective, is what they're trying to do with the CBDC. They're not going to, in my opinion, they're just going to replace the existing system, but for them, what it gives them the opportunity to do is get rid of all of the debt. So the debt is the problem that they have to manage. It's not about being digital. They already have digital money. There are no issues in the infrastructure right now. Of course, it could be more efficient. It could, have a better end user experience, but the system as it is works very, very well for them. So to me, it's all about wiping out the debt. So if they're going to get rid of or kill the existing system, then they're going to try to get rid of cash and debt that is the biggest bubble and the biggest problem that they have to overcome. They can't keep inflating and printing forever. They know it. And so to me, it's more of a reset and move forward with the new system that's going to look very similar to what we have now, but they're going to introduce a new currency at the same time. So that's why I think us having, asset choices and being in full control and custody of those assets is very important. You can call them digital currencies, NFTs, gold and silver, whatever it might be, but those are, sovereign and held by individuals, not custodianed by another entity.
Right.
So that's what DeFi is all about.
No, I agree, and I completely agree with your past statement. I think the biggest weakness that's out there systemically is sovereign debt. Because everything is so tied to the U.S. dollar in like really perverse ways that when we fight inflation, we're crushing so many of smaller countries out there. And I think that, the conspiracy theorist in me or the extremist in me, I think that what we potentially could be looking at is what I call the great deflate, where, like you're saying, like wiping out the debts, like when people realize the opportunities that are available if we're not servicing all this debt, there would have to be some kind of mechanism or reparations, or I don't even know, but like on the outlier of the bell curve, that's something that I'm kind of looking as a possibility. But I thought it was interesting you said that.
Let's get this crypto. Oh, I thought I just
Yes, sir.
Donatello in the house. How are you, my friend?
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me how you feeling.
How's things going?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How about yourself, man? How you feeling?
Just stop.
All right, man. Do you have any questions?
Well, I don't know if you touched on. I haven't been here a while, but kind of all the stuff going on with Furio and all the changes with the LMS and all that. So I don't know if y'all touched on that and the plan for that situation.
Well, we've talked about it extensively, and we're very careful what we say. We're not here to judge anyone else or kick anybody when they're down. We don't believe it's the end of Furio. There's a team that came out in full force with a lot of power, a lot of respect from us here to them, and we understand that decisions had to be made, and we're not here to judge those. And we are seeing a lot of the community being upset, and it's very unfortunate. But we've taken the time to make sure, Donatello, you've been here with me for a very long time, understanding that our whole purpose, initiative, and really the whole intention of ARK was to solve all those problems, because we've had the opportunity to see those mistakes, make those hard decisions today, so that we don't have to make those changes tomorrow. It's quite easy. But we saw that, but we also brought a lot of a twist to it. The 1-to-1 ratio, making sure that investors are getting their return on investment sooner than later. I mean, that is turning the whole thing upside down in a way that really creates an opportunity for folks to be able to get their initial investments, and at the same time they'll be more comfortable to either get referrals, bring friends and family. People are happier when they've already won. In this business, if you get your initial investment back, you are a winner. I think you could agree with that.
Yeah, and one thing I say different about what y'all are doing that none of them are doing is y'all are encouraging people to claim and take profits. And I think with that, people can get more of a
Hey, Donatello, I think we lost you to the Matrix. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Donatello?
Do you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. So what I was saying is, one thing I see different about what y'all are doing is encouraging selling, encouraging people to take profit, and y'all set it up to where, it's doing it in a healthy way. Of course, there is going to be a little sell pressure, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of compounding. So I think it'll balance out in a way because everybody is doing it at a different level, and it's not I don't think it will take as much load on the protocol by people all these people maxing out at the same time and selling huge bags at the same time. So I think that is awesome when it comes to that aspect, and I know y'all are the only one that's doing that regarding these protocols like this.
Thank you. Absolutely. I'm glad you understand it. You're an expert in this field, a great investor, a great YouTuber, an educator. And, this has been completely re-engineered. That's why folks are here. We, as you saw, did a fantastic private sale, sold out in 3 days, 2 minutes for the first public round, 12 minutes for the second, because we put limits on what you could buy. And now into third, we're going into the fourth day after, and there's still a little bit of supply left. And it has a lot to do with the whole psychological pain that some of these folks are going through, because a lot of them are investors here. And we understand that. And look, we're built different from the code to the team to our ethics, the experience that we have and we bring to the table. Everything about us, I think, is built different. And we've thought long and hard about everything. Our external investments are very solid, very safe. And at the end of the day, we don't decide. It's not our money, Donatello. It's the investor's money. It's your money. You should have a vote. And that's what the legacy NFT holders who are partners in ARK, it's their funds that are going to be going over there. And major decisions have to come from the community. Any emergency situations, you obviously, you want to make sure that we're able to make a split-second decision to protect investor funds, protect the integrity of the project and our mission here. But big decisions have to incorporate the voices of the investors who have risked their capital and had confidence to really make the sacrifice. This is not a get rich overnight investment. This is a very, very long-term, multi-year investment to really get the most out of it. Quick on your return of initial investment, which is fantastic. That's gonna bring a wave that people haven't even understood yet. Because believe me, if I made my money, I'm going to be a lot happier to bring my friends. My confidence is through the roof. You follow?
Yeah. Is lunch date still on time, right?
Yeah, we are doing a staggered launch. It is pinned and posted. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance to deposit their NFTs from the pre-sale, as well as buy their bond LP for their levels, or if they want to go the legacy NFT route, they have time to do that too. And also deposit those, make sure that everybody's getting their deposits or from the directs, the 5%. So we're in no rush. We want every investor to have their questions answered. We're here to walk them through and hold their hand as they go through that process and make sure that when we launch, everyone's perfectly situated in a system that's tested. We have all of the audits coming through. CERTIC should be December 1st. We've got another team that's also doing some extra audits. We're having, white hat hackers really try to, just beat the brakes off of the whole system. And that's something that you don't do, all at once. It's better to go stage by stage, contract by contract, and that's what's pinned and posted there. With a total, system functioning and everybody organized, ready to go December 9th. So if you haven't taken a look at that, please share that. I know you've got a lot of investors on your team that you brought to the table. Share that with them. And if you have any, questions regarding that, just let us know. There's a pretty good explanation, but there might be extra questions. Do you have any other further questions, Donatello?
Nah, it sounds good. Service kind of going in and out, but yeah, everything sounds good. Look forward to it.
Are you ready to get this crypto?
Always ready to get the crypto.
All right. Hey, did you find that special person that we talked about? Have you had any luck with that special person?
Nah, he's hard to find. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him on. He hasn't done a YouTube videos. I tried to reach him in a few chats, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
All right, man. Let me know. I know you've been doing that favor for me, and I really appreciate it. Everything in due time, man. So let's get this crypto, Donatello. We're definitely working hard here. Team's doing an amazing job. And look, we couldn't be more excited, more grateful for the way that everything's come together. And we understand that in life, in crypto, there's good days, there's bad days, but it's all about getting up and staying the course. That's so important. We all know that as human beings and in our own personal lives. Everyone has hurdles. Everybody has, situations that they need to overcome. And it sometimes doesn't matter if it's fair or not fair. I know a lot of us are looking around here and saying, well, hey, what's going on? We've been doing everything perfect. Why does a situation that's not created by us or affiliated, tied to us, or directly in any way, shape, or form have an effect? And that's just life. Sometimes something happens somewhere else. There's a bomb somewhere else, and the fragments land on your doorstep. But we understand that type of situation is exactly why we're here. So it just all falls in line into the narrative, and we understand that investors know without a shadow of a doubt that diversification is so important in this business. You can't win all of them, and you don't have to win all of them. You can have 10 investments, but that one that really pays out is what could really change everything for someone. For some, it could be a life-changing situation if they get into the right thing at the right time. And everyone that's here is absolutely at a fantastic time. But ARK is built specifically for the little guy in Brazil living in a favela 6 months from now, a year from now, that understands that there's no whales that are sitting on all this ARK token that they got because they're friends with the dev, or they know Fortunate, or they know the other guy, or they know Donatello, and they're just going to hyper compound their way to eternity and dump on everybody. See, it wouldn't make sense to that little guy later on. We've sat here and we've thought about our end user, Who is that end user? How do we attract him or her with the same opportunity as the folks that were here on the first day? And I haven't seen projects be able to do that. They haven't come up with the mechanisms to even the playing field, to just make it fair for all of the folks here today and the ones coming a lot further down the line. And we need those guys. We need every single one of them. When they hear about ARK, when they download that mobile app that their friend told them about, they scan the QR code, they get a credit card, or they get some crypto, and they get their ARK tokens into the ARK vault. They start earning, and they're playing the same fair game. It's not a whales game. It's a investor. It's a passive income play. For some of them, it could replace their complete income, or bring them an income that they didn't have because they're unemployed. Who knows what their situation might be? But anyway, I'm getting carried away. I get very inspired, man, when I think about the future, when I think about the folks that this product is really going to help. I think we're just lucky to be here early. Are there any other questions or comments? Mr. Silver 7, welcome. Podcast number 28, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
I am, brother. How you doing?
Fantastic. Happy to be here. Very proud of the team, the work that's being done.
Yeah, it's exciting. Just waiting for the second to open up.
Oh, yeah. Did you see our staggered schedule for the contracts and how everything's going to be rolled out?
I did. The next on my agenda is to take a look at them NFTs legacy.
Oh, you got big plans, man. I love that. Playing a big hand at the table. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Silver, what's your opinion of that staggered solution, giving folks time to
It's good for people like me. It keeps us idiot proof.
Well, the credit for that is he's here, Mr. Crypto Jan. I know you know Crypto Jan. He came out with a absolutely. Couldn't do any of this without him. I mean, every guy here that's working is a superstar. If there was one of them not here, we couldn't be able to produce this.
Yeah, I'm not sure what magic you're slinging, but you do got a pretty good team, including the advisors and the syndicates.
Brother, no magic, man. I think people just have taken the time to do their due diligence and understand the opportunity, the proposition, what's happening on a global scale, the uncertainty, the fear. A lot of folks are worried, and they're understanding that there is a way, but what's currently out there is just not the solution. Let's just be frank about it. And it's not working. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same result. It's very easy to copy and paste something that's just junk. It's hard to go to the drawing board and create something, understanding everything else that's gone down and being able to analyze it and improve it and balance everything out. So I think, if anything, that's really the magic. It's just the work that's been done, and it all just makes sense on a philosophical, ethical, and a financial level. The calculator says it. It makes sense to have to reinvest to stay at the most optimum level of return, so people aren't just freeloading and draining constantly without contributing to the whole ecosystem for all of our investment, for our families, for our decisions that we have, for our financial goals for the future. Man, when it's right, it just feels right. Is there anyone here that would like to ask us a question or has a comment? We'd love to hear from you guys.
Hey Atlas, this is VJ. How are you?
Oh, great. VJ, happy to have you here. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you very much, my friend. Um, Quick question. The NFTs, before they're deposited, can be moved to another wallet, right? Obviously. Well, I say obviously, but I'm actually asking a question. Um, is that kosher? Without any
Without any.
transfer taxes or anything like that?
That is correct, VJ. You absolutely can move them to one wallet or several wallets, depending on your strategy, how you want to set yourself up before
Yeah.
launch. There is a limit of one private sale NFT
Yeah.
and four pre-sale NFTs in one wallet.
Got it.
That is
Got it.
it's just one limit, but you're able to go ahead and do that. And if you have more than that, you can split them into other wallets.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I think I really like the staggered launch schedule as well. I was looking at it and thinking there's no rush here. Everything's laid out well, and um, it's plenty of time to get everything right and still be ready for the legacy NFT sales as well as the actual vault launch date and so on. So everything looks good, Atlas. Looking forward to the days ahead.
Well, thank you, VJ, for the positive feedback. It is important to us that we're all on the same page and understanding that we've raised quite a lot of capital. We're almost at $1.2 million. This is not our money. This is yours.
Yeah.
We only get chance. That's it, to do it absolutely right. Um,
Yeah.
your capital is on the line. Our reputations, our our names are on the line as well, and we're not going to risk that for anything. So
Yeah.
better go at a right pace, sequence everything completely tested, everybody organized. There's not any investor here that didn't hear or wasn't able to ask a question that was left behind at any stage through that whole sequence, so that when we take off in the arc, it's just smooth sailing. The way
Right.
that the private has gone down is, I think, is indicative of the quality and professionalism of excellence here from our team.
Yeah, totally. I would second that. And in fact, I have a downline. And so obviously there are people behind me. And, when you say your reputation is at stake, I would contend that anybody that has a downline's reputation is also at stake here in the project. And I appreciate you doing everything to, protect the sanctity of those relationships and always doing the right thing and giving people enough time and as well as an opportunity, to make some money here in the project.
Absolutely, man. It all comes back to let's get this crypto.
Yeah, let's get this cryptos right. So one final question, Atlas. December 9th is the official launch date for. Well, actually, it's the date when the rewards start going live. Is that also the date for the public launch? And pardon me if this was in the dates that you mentioned, but I missed it. Is it so? In other words, if you want to add to your vault, that would be the first day you can when the token starts trading.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll be able
Okay.
to purchase Ark, and the folks that didn't get a chance to purchase the pre-sale NFTs, they're going to have their opportunity to come in. However, they will be able to go ahead and purchase their legacy NFT and their bond LP, which, by the way, we still have some pre-sale NFTs still available. I think it's around 240 or 50. So that's
Right.
available. And we encourage folks that want to go ahead and get on board, or maybe you forgot about a friend or family member. It's a fantastic opportunity to get in.
Yeah, I agree. I got it pretty much in the first 10 seconds or something, of the public pre-sale three. So glad I did that. And now, if they don't sell out Atlas, does this in any way affect the price for the public launch?
Well, look, not directly, in a form indirectly, because we'll have to go to the tokenomics and just change the variables as we will add those tokens back to liquidity. So it's a minor adjustment in the whole calculation,
Yeah.
and you know it's pretty basic. So it doesn't hinder or hurt really in any way, shape, or form. It just means that our actual allocation and liquidity treasury will be rebalanced to incorporate those tokens back into the system. I consider it actually healthy, but I am very confident in the numbers and tokenomics that were initially put forth. And if they're not reached, it's really not a big deal. I don't know the percentage. I don't want to miss speak here what it is, but I think we're about only let's say $90,000 away from that goal, and I think that from here to Friday, it's very feasible for that to go ahead and be picked up.
Oh
So
yeah,
if that happens,
sure.
we'll continue with the plan. If it doesn't, we just go ahead and adjust and recalculate and put that back into the whole system. So it'll be great either way, I'm sure.
Got it. And is the expectation that the public launch price will be above 475?
Yes, it absolutely is expected for it to be above, not below. We don't want to quote an exact price, but just using logic and being fair to everybody here,
Correct.
that is our intent. And
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I'd, expected and hoped for. Yeah, I think you're right. And people may have gone away for the long weekend, they're back and memories are short and other projects misfiring a little bit. People kind of quickly take those in stride and continue doing what they have been. So hopefully it fills up by Friday. If not, you guys know what you're doing. So we're all
so
good.
there's a lot of broken hearts out there right now on those streets, but I do believe in love, man.
Yeah,
And I know
absolutely.
a lot of folks are going to open their heart, man, and they're going to come fall in love with us because we're completely just built different, from the ground up. So look,
Yeah.
we're poised for great growth, and as you know, we're expanding into the real world. To so many folks out there that have never even invested in crypto, and to have that opportunity for such a great proposition and such uncertain times is really going to speak and connect with a lot of the mass market on a global scale. There's nobody that we don't want to accept here in ARK, and
Yeah.
inflation, uncertainty, doubt, and the pain that folks are going through, energy prices, food prices, fuel. It's tough, and you
Yeah.
only need so little bit amount and some patience and time to be able to really grow. And the return on investment is so quick compared to the strategy of all the other systems that
Yeah.
it's really a no-brainer, man.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a
totally.
question based on that?
Just, yeah. Just,
Sorry to cut
Uh,
that.
uh,
I
we'll check
just
his
I
macros.
just had a question. Just had a question with regard to the app and onboarding, the average Joe and turning them into the savage Joe. What transactions are there within the app, with regard to onboarding people to, for the on ramp? Is it solely to purchase ARK?
I mean, no, it's to really encompass the whole ROI DApp, right? The whole system in a simplified format. That's the goal we're striving for.
I
To
guess
take
I
a
guess what
comp.
I'm asking is like, will they have the ability to, like, if I'm at a party and I'm talking to someone about it, I show them the app and I show them how to get involved. Are there going to be options like where they could buy a bond and they can start working their own downlines? or buying an NFT? Because I mean, I think that would be, essential to the growth of the project. I'm just, if you guys have gone.
Yes, look, absolutely, and as I was saying, we're working to simplify the whole system. Where sometimes you could look at something, let's say, as simple as Twitter. Maybe not the best example, but one that maybe I can expand on. Behind Twitter, the nuts and bolts under the hood is a complex system of Web3, of React, of a communication system that for the user, or Instagram, probably a better one. It's a simple user interface, almost intuitive. All that's happening behind the scenes and all the different functions are laid out in a way that the common person can get around it and be able to quickly adapt and be able to use it. That's what we're doing here. We have some products that we're working. I don't know if Brett Norden wants to come and talk a little bit about that, as there's work being done here for that simplification and giving folks from the real world, a very great, robust system with a high APR, but in a format that's easier to understand and digest and get involved with. Because if it's too complicated, it tends to scare people away. Brett, do you want to add to that? He might be actually busy driving at the time, so.
So you're saying that there's the ability to say, like I can articulate to someone, a great way for you to grow is to create your own downlines. Here's what you need. You can either do a bond or you can do a legacy NFT. Is that an option that would be presented?
There's many options, but see, the first thing that needs to happen is that you need to understand your investment first, so you can manage it yourself. It's hard to explain to somebody something that you don't have a full grasp on, and for that reason, we've created a whole department here of a ARK coach, which is Bradass, who is able, when you can't explain it and maybe you're not so well versed yet, that you can come to him and say, hey, I've got a group of friends here, we're having a beer and I'm not really certain, I can't answer all of the questions. Brad, can you help me? Can you walk them through it? I mean, and at this point, until the application is really in our hands, MetaMask or a Trust Wallet and the current D app that the team is developing is the name of the game. It is the way to get involved, right? So perhaps they're going to use MetaMask and they need somebody to sit there and walk them through it. I know you work very hard at it. We've been friends for a long time. You can go ahead and refer them, for example, to Brad, and he'll do that for you, kind of like a concierge service. Get him checked in, roll out the red carpet, and make sure that they have enough information to do the due diligence and make a decision based on the information, the data, from a basic level at least, and then understanding that there's a bit of a learning curve until we're able to really transcend and simplify it in such a way that it's a lot simpler for everyone, for the real world to come join us. So there's a lot of development that's happening, but that's something that's here now on the table that, if you want to, contact, Brad, you're more than welcome to, and he can aid you, in that whole process.
Yeah, of course. And I had one-on-ones with Brett about that. And, he's amazing. What a great resource that you guys brought up.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with your mic, but I hear you very in and out. I'm actually loud, and then I hear you far away. You're what?
I'm sick. I'm sick.
Okay. All right, man. It seems like the phone's moving around a lot. But man, thanks for your question. And yeah, Brad's here to go over that with you. I know that he tonight is going to be coming in a little bit later. He's taking care of somebody. but you have his DMs, and he's always there for us. But you'll see a lot more development and information as we get further down the line with the roadmap and getting that application into everyone's hands here. Thanks for the question, brother. VJ, did you have any other question? Did we finish? I know Smackworth came in and asked a question. But I don't know if you were done.
I actually had another one, Atlas, but I kind of forgot what it was. I think it was around the second. So basically, the second is when the NFTs will go on sale, and obviously they'll be available even post the launch, assuming that they don't sell out in the first week, right? And say the same thing for the bonds as well, right? Um,
Um, Yes, that is correct. And to be specific, we're talking about legacy NFTs.
Correct. Legacy NFTs. Correct. Sorry.
Right. They are, no, it's fine. You've got the lingo, man. You're talking the right way. It's just my duty and responsibility to be extra clear. There's a recording happening. We're going to have folks that are going to listen to this at a later date, most of them the next day as they're sleeping right now. And I just want to communicate very clearly. So there is a limited supply. You'll be able to find that here through the commands, or if you want to go to the white paper as well, but very easy in the Telegram to see that information. And the Bond LP does not have a limited supply. So that's something that even when the NFTs run out, you are not, tied and disabled really from having up to 15 levels. Every investor is going to be able to do that here, whether it's, this week or in a year or 2 years from now or furthermore.
Perfect. And what about the actual revenue from for NFT holders from some of the taxes, the distribution of the tax pool? Will that begin in the month of December itself, or is it going to be paid once a month or something like that, or what's the schedule on that?
It's instant. It's absolutely instant. It's paid out in BUSD every single day, the way it should be.
Oh,
I don't want
to the NFT holder.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is correct.
Got it. Because I recall in an earlier conversation in one of the AMAs, you had mentioned that the rough, or maybe it was Brett who mentioned the rough math on it. Is it roughly a 1-year payback is what you guys had computed for NFT holders based on the revenue from the system feeding back into the NFT holders?
I did not hear that, and it would be difficult for me to give an opinion as it's speculation, right? We don't know the volume. It could be really, really fast, or it could take long, or as long as you're saying. And I tend to shy away from any conversation of speculation on returns on investment on a speculative asset that's dependent on the overall volume that we're experiencing and having. So yeah, I prefer not to go there.
Okay, no problem. I understand. Thanks a lot, Atlas. That's pretty much all I had tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the questions. Love your participation. Thank you for your confidence in the project, in this community, and in the team.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. Let's get the script though.
Yeah, let's get it. Thank you, Atlas.
Oh, we got Catalyst in the house, Team Cryptozoa, ROI DApp Royalty, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast this evening. This is the 28th podcast. How are you doing, sir?
Great, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect. You sound loud and clear.
I'm just popping in, just seeing what's new. Successfully deposited my NFTs today. Went off without a hitch.
That's what the folks here in our back end and front end work so hard for, to make sure that you have a fantastic product that's reliable and working to meet all your expectations. Glad you had a good process there.
Yep, and announced it to some of my team members, and they had the same smooth process as well. So we're we're stacking them, getting ready for launch.
Great to hear. We had a great conversation, Brett and I, with Patrick yesterday, as he was getting ready to go to the conference in Miami, and he was already over there. And it was a pleasure. I really liked this gentleman and speaking with him, and asking him advice and his opinions on what we're doing, where we're going, our vision. There's so much in this roadmap, and that we want to grow into. And we have so much respect for him and you. All you guys are absolute superstars, and I think role models for the rest of our community.
Well, thank you. You're making me blush, but thank you very much. I'm happy to be a part of the community.
Well, it's well deserved. Absolutely, the way that you guys have grown and innovated and brought so many people up, to Cryptozoa and created tools and guidance and mentorship is admirable. And it's nothing short of really, the respect that we hold for all of you. And look forward to seeing you get more and more involved in the community, and for folks to find out about you guys and come over to you, as well as we're all, really, rowing here on this arc towards the same goal, right? Towards that financial freedom and stability. And it's so important to have experienced folks, all hands on deck. So again, we look forward to you guys becoming more involved as we set forth on this long journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about giving back and leading with contribution, and that's what the whole team Cryptozoa under Patrick's leadership, we've learned that it's best to pay it forward and again lead with contribution. So I'm really looking forward to contributing to the ARK community.
Thank you so much. Is there at this point anything that we could do to make you more comfortable or to aid you with information or processes that would make your life easier and I guess more effective?
Nothing I can think of. I mean, your white paper is one of the most excellent white papers I've seen, and you've got these daily AMAs, and your admins are providing information in real time. Whenever I pop in on the Telegram channel, everything's right there. I mean, if anyone's got a question, just do a search, and the answers are well thought out, and I mean very clearly explained. So no, the short answer is I've not been able to not find an answer to any of my questions. So nothing I need at the moment.
Have you been using the command from the bot with the information organized? Have you had the chance yet to?
Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I haven't. I should do that. I think just out of habit, I'll do a search on a couple keywords and then find some, some posts that have been, that address.
Let's do a live demo for you, Catalyst, if you don't mind. S23, sir, can you throw some commands here from Rose to?
Oh yes, definitely. Yes.
All right, let's play a little game. Catalyst, pick a question that you get a lot from your investors in the community. Go ahead.
Oh, I guess taxes. All right.
Next one.
Launch schedule.
Staggered launch.
There we go. Yeah, I'll have to start using the commands. And well, okay, here's one. List of commands.
Yes, we will drop tomorrow the full list of commands for everyone to see and to use.
we go. Good. Hey, good one. Catalyst. That was perfect. You found something. See, this is what I mean. Interaction here with the community and getting ideas. We're trying to think of everything, but there's always room for improvement. And this is what having folks like yourself and some of these amazing folks in our community, Florida Realtor, T-Drip. I mean, these guys are just stepped up and really pitched in so many ways. And they're helping us also in a lot of the other communities, really answer a lot of questions. Not everybody's taking the time, Catalyst, to do their due diligence or come and ask questions. And then they hear a narrative, maybe somebody that got hurt in another project, and they're all walking around moping with a broken heart. And they just think that all roses are dead and there's no beauty in life or light at the end of the tunnel, if you follow what I'm saying. So it's important. But Catalyst, I would like to extend an offer to you to incorporate the whole system of those commands into your ARK community and your group, so that you also are able to take advantage and have a very seamless and quick response as you're growing and having people. It's a very simple process. It's just Mr. S23 having admin access for, I think, less than 3 minutes and importing that information over there for you.
Yeah. It's gonna take a few seconds and you'll be set. You have everything in your group.
Perfect.
Here to work together.
Yeah.
Work for that common goal for the project.
Well, thank you for the welcome, and I've actually got a team member asking me how to do the deposits. I wrote somewhat, everybody's experience level varies. Sometimes you just really have to break it down to simple steps. Like I sent this out to my my team. If I may, I'm going to go and post this, but if you guys don't want it on there, you can take it off. But this is just like an example of a text that went out to my team members. Maybe I can't post on your. Oh, I can't post on your Telegram. That's right. Telegram.
We're going to give you the full access immediately. Just give us a second. S23.
Yes,
it's
sir.
really not that big of a.
Oh no! Look, it's important to us.
Okay.
Do
you want me to post
it to us? Yeah. Go right ahead. This is what we're here to do. Sometimes we wish more questions came in, so we start talking about DeFi and what's happening in the world, and we were just talking about CDBC a little bit earlier and a couple of times last week. It's nice to have questions.
Oh, the bot doesn't like it. It's a thing that give me a second.
Oh, it's because I have a link in there to your DApp.
Yeah.
Let me take that out.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
I just took the link out to the ARK DApp, but this is just an example of really making it super simple for team members, and I think that's one of the draws that draws people to Team Cryptozoa is that we cater to all experience levels of experience.
Absolutely. Nobody does it better. You guys are amazing.
I've got an article like 3/4 of the way done that Brett had suggested a topic, and I kind of stuck on finishing it up. I wrote it that over the weekend. I don't know. I might pass it along to Brett just to maybe get his ideas on how to kind of put a bow on it. I'm a little particular about publishing my articles.
Of course. I have a sort of a pet peeve. I'll write something and edit it 10, 20 times. It's got to feel completely right. And I need to be impressed with myself. And generally it does take, when I'm doing business plans and things, like it's a process, and I have to get into zone and revise, and I could change a sentence 6 times just to make it more, I guess, clear and have a better impact. It's a fantastic process, but there's a feeling that's there, that when it's like I achieve it, I'm like, wait, there's still a little more I could add to it. I do the same thing when I cook meals, Catalyst, and I generally go too far and sometimes get too creative. You could ask my wife. She's like, hey, don't mess with it more. It's absolutely perfect. No, but I can, add this ground, cumin, and just gonna, spice it up a little bit. So it's easier to do that on a Word document, right? than in the kitchen.
Are you the author of the white paper, or was that like a team effort?
No, there's only one person here, and it's all, every single word and vision and really just the way that everything works together here. And that's Brett Norden. He is the architect of this fantastic project.
Got it.
All credit to him. All hail to Brett Norden.
Yeah. Hey, Catalyst, while we were on here, we've been talking about doing some contests for article writing and things like that. You would have a minute to kind of share. I know that CryptoZoa does contests all the time. Do you have any advice for us in how we lay that out, or best practices you guys have seen?
Yeah, so back in the early days of Team CryptoZoa, and of course it's only about 1.5 years ago, but in order to encourage or incentivize people to write articles, Patrick was running some contests. They were basically set up. All the articles are published on Medium, so he would do a monthly contest where anybody that had written an article during that month or during some time frame, whatever article got the most claps would win. That was one way to do the contest, but also just encourage people to write articles. He would actually just give away some crypto if you published an article, because so many people, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I'm not a writer. I can't write." And then it's amazing. Some of these people who've said, "I'm not a writer," have multiple articles out there on Medium now. That's, once you get into it, some people really get into it. But we also have an editing team, a team of editors, I should say. So before any article gets published under Team CryptoZoa's publication, it does get run by a team of editors, and we just pick them up. I think we have, I want to say 5 or 7 editors, and it's really just kind of whoever picks up an article. It's not like we get them assigned. We just do it if we're free and we see an article out there, because Medium will notify all the editors that there's a article waiting for submission, or that an article draft has been submitted to the publication, and then one of us will pick it up and read it and make sure that it adheres to a couple guidelines we have, like making sure that photos are properly credited. I personally have never refused to publish an article. It's not like that. We just try to clean them up a little bit if they need it. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off track on your question.
No, that's great. No, that's good. Yeah. So what would you think if we ran a contest, and let's say that every article got something, and then there was maybe the top 3 that would win after a certain period of time? What do you think would be, from an ARK or BUSD standpoint, what do you think would incentivize everyone to at least publish an article if they haven't for the first time even? But then for the person who got the most claps, or however we measure it, what do you think a nice bag would look like? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know. I guess you'd kind of experiment with it. I don't think it would take much. Medium, as you're probably aware, Medium also incentivizes, if you're I forget what they call it, like a Medium Pro member or whatever, if you're paying for that status, you actually get compensated by Medium. So you can actually make a little bit of money every month for writing articles anyway. Like any particular month, I generate between $50 and $100 in Medium compensation just for people who read my articles. But I guess in answer to your question, if you were going to give a little bit of BUSD, I don't think it'd have to be much. I mean, $5 or $10.
Okay.
Start out with $5 if that's not too much. I mean, hopefully you don't get like 1,000 articles.
Somebody hires a Fiverr article writer and just cranks out 1,000 spun articles. I guess you're gonna have to put some criteria around it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll
the other thing we struggle. Yeah, the other thing we struggle with a little bit is on YouTube. Doing a similar model. I guess per YouTube video or something, we could do that. But then it's always an unfair advantage if a big YouTuber has already a large following. If we did it by views or something like that, it gets, depending on who picks up the challenge, it's always, the same winner, right? Or the same winners.
Right.
Do you have any other ways that we could do YouTube to make it, maybe different categories of winners, maybe, somebody that doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but they get a lot of views or something like that. Do you have any ideas on that?
I don't. I personally don't do YouTube videos. I mean, I certainly watch my share of them. I'd have to give that some thought on how to.
Your first one, your first video.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Now you're going to incentivize me to make a YouTube video.
You could always write the article and then do the YouTube video on the article. I've seen that done before.
Right. Someone has that has been suggested to me before. I don't know. There's only so much time in the day.
Sure.
This DeFi stuff keeps one pretty busy.
Yeah, like the package deals now, like SK is doing it. I've seen Fleming do it, where they do the video and release the Medium article at the same time, and it's they feed off each other a little bit usually.
Yeah. No shortage of ideas out there.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I was just trying to get kind of a measure if you had some experience with that and where we, if we could have a starting point at least to figure that out, because we want to, do a big blitz campaign here, and we're all about the community-based marketing. Go ahead.
What you might do. So we do run a lot of contests on the Team Cryptozoa chat group. We do them more like with raffles. So we'll just randomly draw 3 people from all the entries. So and not necessarily for writing articles, but like we'll do things to incentivize people to make an investment in, for example, the drip fountain. And everybody that may, and it's not a big investment. It's just if you make one deposit of X amount, we have a Google form, and you just put the hashtag of the transaction showing that you deposited that minimum amount, and then at the end of the month we just randomly draw 3 people and we give away, in this particular case, some drip. So that's another way you might want to think about doing a contest where you don't want to have as much exposure, like in the event that you get 1,000 articles, maybe just randomly draw from everyone who submitted an article that month or that week, whatever. Did I lose you guys?
We're here with you.
Oh, there you are.
Maybe Brett got a call, or he's still here and unmuted, but
Atlas, something that happened by chance. 3, 4 questions. In the main, answered in seconds with those commands. If you take a look, fast and effective.
to get this crypto. Nice
Yes,
work,
sir.
brother. Fantastic work that you guys are doing here. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened with Brett, but thank you for that, Catalyst. And yeah, having that Google Docs makes sense to be able to confirm that the transactions actually happened. Brett, we have you back. I think you're muted.
Yeah, sorry guys. My phone tried to connect to the Wi-Fi and it got dumped. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you, Catalyst. Yeah, I'll get with the admins, and we want to make it a community contest so we can run, consecutively and yeah, do this over and over again. So that's a great model. I like it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next time you go to the Cryptozoa chat, just put in the word contest, and you'll see examples of contests that we've run in the past.
Okay, great. Yeah, and on the ARK Cryptozoa channel, maybe we can do the same thing, or just piggyback off whatever we're doing.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, I'll pop out there right now and see if. I think it's a little soon to be doing any contests, but I just want to. You never know. I mean, we've got so many Cryptozoa channels now. I've got a folder. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 different Cryptozoa channels.
Wow. Yeah, I've participated in the reservoir deposit contest before. Didn't win, but I participated.
Oh yeah, that's what I was. Oh yeah, I think I said fountain. Yeah, you're right. I meant reservoir. Exactly.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
Small world here. We just keep running into so many good folks, guys. It's really a fantastic opportunity.
Man, I got some good things to say about Cryptozoa, man. Like, that place is so good to read articles. Most sorts of websites when it comes to crypto are mostly opinion polls, and you get lost in some of these articles. But what they do at Cryptozoa is like keep things very simple and integrated, and I think that's the unique sort of selling point, and that's why people are attracted to it. You guys do great work, man. Just gotta say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for that, Z. Yeah, Z is a big part of the family here, Catalyst, and still till today, the most I think well-rounded DeFi expert I've ever met. So an honor to have him here. He comes every night too, and brings us some fantastic info. I don't know if you've ever been here at the podcast when Z's going through some of the material.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just the other night, was it last night or maybe the night before? But no, hi Z. I've listened to you a couple times on these podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Catalyst. But yeah, like news wise, are you guys following what's happened to BlockFi?
I know
I've heard about it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go for it, Catalyst.
No, I just heard the news headline.
Z, you mute yourself because there's a very strong echo coming from you. Thank you. Catalyst, go right ahead.
I don't really have any details. I just heard about it this morning on one of the crypto channels I listen to that they filed for bankruptcy. Chapter 11.
Chapter
That's
11.
really all I know.
That's really all.
Well, I know earlier this year they got slapped. I think it was 150 or 200 million dollar slap on the wrist, which I thought was actually kind of cool. I mean, you've made it in when you're getting a slap on the wrist the same way that the banksters do, over at J.P. Morgan and all of the, you know, the big boys that are getting caught for money laundering for their customers on a global scale all over the world. Deutsche Bank, and they just get a slap on the wrist. They don't put anybody in jail. And then a couple years ago, they tried to put a couple crypto folks, Arthur Hayes. They tried to jail him. They caught him in New York, and with the whole BitMEX situation. And I just thought it was like we were maturing, that they just fine you instead of throwing you in jail. But so what's happened? Please tell us.
I'll leave that to Z. Or
I'll leave that to Z. Or yeah, so basically BlockFi, as we all speculated, had a big position in FTX, and what sort of FTX was able to do was get all these centralized exchanges to like bid into many of these seed rounds, and I call them shit coins. And when FTX went down, they lost like I think 30% of their portfolio, a huge amount, and they had to halt withdrawals a couple of weeks ago. And that's whenever like an exchange halts withdrawals, I get suspicious. I'm like, either they're not balancing the books right, they don't understand the liquidity pools the way we do in DeFi, and they're using order book models. So they weren't able to keep up to customer demands, and they needed to like release some liquidity, and the only way to release, let's say, $300 million is to file for chapter 12 or chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that's what they did. And yeah, so it's another sort of giant. BlockFi was sponsoring a lot of YouTubers. I don't know if any of you at CryptoZoa were sort of sponsored by BlockFi, but it was a great app. It had really good APY, so you could buy your crypto and just hold it there, and let it sort of like make you a good return. So yeah, so it's unfortunate BlockFi have filed for bankruptcy, and this kind of reminds me of like 2008 when Lehman Brothers went down, and a few other banks worldwide went down, and it created a domino effect. So we started off with sort of Terra Luna. I've got a whole statistic on this. So Terra Luna lost $55 billion, I think. Then second on the list was Sam Bankman-Fried with withdrawal halts at $10 billion. And yeah, now we have BlockFi that just filed for bankruptcy. So um, I hope, I hope that what's happening in crypto is a lot of like money's outflowing from centralized exchanges, and people are like sort of putting it into their custodial wallets. So maybe it's an effect of that inflow and outflow of you can say crypto. And yeah, so I'm like right now I haven't got the best coverage on me. I do want to break it down, and maybe I can do that tomorrow. um, but yeah, so BlockFi filing for bankruptcy is big news right now. And the other thing, I'm like completely different to BlockFi. Basically, one of my favorite DJs, Deadmau5. I don't know if any of you guys have heard his music. Awesome guy. He just
yes.
released an NFT project that's gonna. They say it's gonna be like sort of super band, like a rock band meets Pokemon Go. So you do collectible sort of things on the metaverse. And yeah, I'm trying to get the article up here so I can give you guys more details. So yeah, Deadmau5, Pixel Next unveils NFT scavenger hunt. Rock bands, Rock band meets Pokemon Go. So apparently this got a bunch of seed round money, and this is gonna be it's gonna be an augmented reality. So it's been a while since we've like really had fun in crypto. I mean, we were doing it with sort of purchasing our NFTs, but I wanted that to go into the metaverse, so we have game theory. So yeah, so Pixel Next, a project from Deadmau5 and Richie Houghton. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that's a big project that's gonna do big things.
That's
And
that
that's the
sounds
kind of
cool.
headlines I have for now.
That sounds cool.
Right? Awesome.
Did you have you? Are you
So
familiar
let me
with
see if
the
I can
app
give you
called
more details.
AirCoins?
Aircoins.
Yeah, it's
No,
been around
tell me
for a
more.
while,
Tell me
but
more.
you may. This is a. Sorry, I keep stuttering because I keep hearing myself delayed on your speaker, like it's coming back through. But anyway, AirCoins is kind of like Pokemon. You run around just collecting coins that are floating around in the metaverse. I used to play it like a couple when it came out, but it's I don't know if it really ever took off, but it's still out there. AirCoins. So I'm looking forward to the Dead Mouse app. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never.
I was just reading on Aircoins a little bit. Looks pretty cool. I'll definitely check it out. I think like sort of crypto needs to become fun again, and and yeah, I hope things like the sort of metaverse project from Dead Mouse. I hope things like Aircoins can get people like plugging and playing quite a bit. So we'll keep track of that. But the Dead Mouse one has received like a lot of money, like in seed rounds. So I think they have the developers and their team has a bunch of roadmaps to claim. So I'm gonna keep an
Nice.
eye on that for sure. Good times.
Do you know they raised?
Apparently, it was in the hundreds of millions, man. It was a big raise.
Beautiful. Hey, we have our Monday night guest of honor, Coach Roberto, live and direct from Florida. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. And you guys are, it's unbelievable. I'm like a little baby in this game. But I'm learning.
You are. And at 71 years old, man, that's the best time to learn, brother. You've got the patience. You could breathe.
You guys are so clear. It's unbelievable. I love the game you're playing. How this whole crypto thing, it's unbelievable. And I was in the pre-seller business and all that, but this thing just takes it to a whole different level.
Thank you, Coach. It's been a pleasure. We've played some games together ourselves and gone on some wild rides and journeys and a lot of experience. And yeah, this is where I want to be. That's why I'm here. No better place to be, and sharing with these wonderful folks the passion, the enthusiasm that they have for crypto and just the world overall. You find that in crypto, there's a lot of great like-minded folks. Of course, always some bad apples like anywhere else, but that's what, taking the time and putting your toes in the water and going through some experiences and ups and downs. You start to figure out who's who and what risk is and how to diversify and fall in love, but at the same time, keep a level head. And investing is a serious.
It's the platform to be creative. It's like the creativity is unbelievable. And allows a small player to play instead of just a big guy. But anyway,
Exactly.
My universe is the breath.
Bring us to warp speed, Coach. Man, I'm ready. I've been looking forward to it all weekend. I've got a guest over here, and I'll fill you in on some stuff. I owe you a couple calls. We've just been so busy, brother, getting everything together. And today is a big day. Our investors are starting to deposit their NFTs into the system, and it's again a smooth process. Sunday, our coders working 9-10 hours. I mean, when you see that type of commitment, man, it's overwhelming to see the responsibility, the culture and the ethics of the folks that we're working with here. So, man, I'll turn it over to you. Take us to warp speed, man. Let's get this harmony and let's get this breath that's gonna calm us down.
Well, I don't know how many people were in the last 2 sessions, right? So what I wanted to do today, just to end it, just to do the cyto relief in a circular way for like 5 minutes. So it's like breathing like a cyto relief in through the nose, out through the mouth. In a circular way, which means there's no pause in the inhale or the exhale. But instead of doing a 20 breath technique, it's like doing it for 5 minutes, which would be like probably 100, 200 breaths, but doing it intentionally and consciously, and see how everybody feels at the end. So if the people that want to play that game, yes.
Mm-hmm. When you say sigh of relief, do you mean like, for example, I was in a hurry and late to an appointment and had a call come in and I wasn't really focused when I left my home, and if I turned off the stove or if I didn't turn off the stove, and I remember this 15 minutes into my ride, and I'm like, it's too late, I can't turn back. But if I left it on, that my house could burn because it was the pressure cooker that I had on, and my wife hasn't arrived yet, but then she arrives and she calls me and she's like, no, the stove is off. Nothing happened. Everything's fine. You mean like when I go like,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's the
so.
Okay, I'm understanding.
The sigh relief is an automatic breath that happens when you release something, or you're surprised, or just like you just explained, oh my God, nothing happened. Your body automatically does it. But taking that breath and doing it intentionally. So it's like inhaling through the nose for 2 or 3 seconds, and then just relaxing the exhale and dropping it. And then at the bottom, you bring it up again. So they're just cyto reliefs. It's just like inhale, exhale, but in a circular way. And keeping your attention on the breath. So can people handle that?
Aye, Captain.
So we'll do it like, instead of 20, let's just do 100 and see how and I'll count. You guys don't have to count. All you have to do is just keep breathing, right? And when I say start, we all start. So I'll go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Ready? So if we want to start, let's everybody sit down or lie down and relax. Don't do it standing up. So if we're ready, just have some fun with it, okay? And just notice how you're feeling through each breath. So here we go. Ready? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. I'm just going to say inhale, 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 inhale. We got 10, keep going. Keep relaxing. 20. 30. 40. 50. Keep relaxing. 50. A little faster. 60. 70. 80. 90. 'Take a deep breath. Hold it. Just notice how you're feeling. Keep holding if you can. Keep relaxing. And when you have to let go, let go. Just notice how you're feeling. Just observe your body. Notice any tingling, any emotions, any contractions, any avenue, or just follow the energy. Notice the thoughts. Be aware of the thoughts. Stay in your body. There's nothing to do. Just relax. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Let's get this crypto.
If anybody
Nice,
has
coach.
any question, anybody has any like feeling that they want to describe or how they're feeling, or
I'm feeling good,
what
man.
was the experience?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from somebody. See, Brad, did you do it?
Yeah, I certainly did, mate. I was just sitting, relaxing, for quite a period after. That's why I didn't say anything, because I've actually still got my eyes closed. Just I don't. It's weird to try and explain it, if I'm honest. But there's definitely some form of energy in my body that wasn't present before. My brain feels really, my body feels relaxed, but my brain feels relaxed, which I hadn't experienced from any previous breathing I've been doing, because I've been doing it every day. I've stuck to it because I find it.
Okay, good.
I just find it very. I mean, relaxing is the main thing that I get from it. When you're having a busy day or a stressful day, I've been doing it between 2 and 4 times a day every day. But that was different. That was completely different from the previous ones. I've still got my eyes closed now. It's a very weird thing to say, but it feels like I have more room in my skull. It feels like my brain isn't as, I don't know. It's very weird. I can't even really explain it. But before, just got some personal stuff going on, so I've got a lot of, a little bit of added stress recently, and I've been getting like not even headaches, just feels like my brain is too big for my skull, but not in like a painful, it's a very weird thing, and that's at this moment completely gone. So that is a very new experience for me, to have my brain relaxed as opposed to my body, because I've been getting a very euphoric feeling the last few minutes. I'm actually getting some emotion come through. Like my eyes are watering. My eyes are filling up. My eyes are watering, and it's like, it's hard to explain, because there's not like a feeling of sadness or even a feeling of happiness. It's just, I don't know, it's like a bit of a strange experience, if I'm honest.
That's awesome. So what we just did there is like just a short, what I call circular connected conscious breath. And I sometimes lead, and maybe we can do it one day, is we do that for like 60 minutes. And it's a way to release anything that's in your subconscious and your body, you release it. And but you're explaining what happens in this short period of time. So you open space, first of all, because you're bringing energy to your skull, but you're also putting your attention more on the energy, on the breath. And when you do that, you start relaxing your brain, all your thoughts. And you're relaxing your thoughts, you're relaxing your body. So it opens up space.
Glad that makes sense to you, and that's sort of what's meant to happen, because that's obviously what just happened. It's a good feeling. It's I've never not experienced that before, so I'm glad that's what was meant to have happened.
Good job, Brad. Yeah, it's a different breath, has different results, and that's interesting how you notice that you've been doing the other breath, the 4-5. But now you did a different one and you're having a different result. I'm curious, Catalyst, did you partake in the breath exercise?
Sorry, my mic was muted. Yes, I did. I got super lightheaded. The pace of the breathing was a little rapid for me, and so I actually got a little bit lightheaded. But it was cool. It was all good.
Good. Yeah. So sometimes it's practice, especially if you do a lot of like slow and lower breathing, like deeper breathing. So I picked up the pace a little bit. That supports you in removing something else. So it's like mastering both: fast, slow, slow and fast, slow and full, fast and full, fast and shallow. So it's like playing with different rhythms and stuff. And yeah, you get lightheaded. So that's why I ask people to be sitting down. But thank you.
Especially your first time. First time. Remember when Brad did his first breath, he got pretty lightheaded, but he's been practicing it. Yeah. But do you feel any effect, Catalyst, or relaxation in any way, shape, or form?
Oh yeah, totally. I actually I'm one of those kind of people that actually will do the breathing exercises when my Apple Watch tells me to pause for a minute and do the 60-second.
Nice.
I'm a slave to my freaking watch. If it tells me it's time to stand, I stand up. If it tells me it's time to breathe, I breathe. I know it sounds ridiculous, but
no, that's good.
Get me one of those, because Coach knows he'll give me homework and I'll get too busy and forget about it. I need to get me an Apple Watch to remind me.
No, that's a good, it's a good trigger, and to be be able to do it. So I say you should practice like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and then 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, and then 10 times during the day for 2 minutes. Whatever breath you enjoy. I teach a 20 breath technique that I have people do. But so if you have something to trigger, I know these guys that have they have a rock that you tap, and it does the breathing. It lights up and it goes like 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, and it does it for like 3 minutes. And they use it so you can put there in your desk and you just tap the rock. And it's called Momentum Company Code. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow, that sounds neat, Coach.
Yeah,
that sounds really, really cool. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Z, did you do the breath? I'm curious. Maybe Z fell asleep. Anybody else that did it? Well, Coach, thank you so much. That was fantastic. That was really, really great. Catalyst, let's see if we get in here one of the Monday nights. Patrick, have him do some breathing. I told him that, I'm really into the breath and thought that was really interesting. He's a big meditator, he told me. I like meditation too.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say he'd totally be into that. He's meditation. He's very spiritual. You've had him on your channel. He lives in a yurt in Colorado.
He sent me a picture video. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
You mentioned you spoke to him. I was texting him today too. Is he still down at the conference in Miami, or is that thing still going on?
Oh, it just started today. It's a 2-day event, and he was there in Miami at the hotel yesterday.
When I was on your channel a couple of weeks ago when you guys had me on, I mentioned we had our first Cryptozoa meetup earlier this year in July. I can't wait for the first ARK meetup. Maybe we should have it at like a conference, or we could just have it alone. But what made me think about Cryptozoa, Patrick told our whole team that he was heading down to that conference, and he, invited anyone to hook up and meet up with him down in Miami. I've got a couple of conferences on my schedule for next year, like Consensus, and anyway, it might just throwing it out there as an idea. We could invite the ARK community to meet somewhere. Either you guys can make your own.
Yeah, well, yeah, you guys have been doing yours. He told us about it. Thought that was really neat, and maybe we could join, or ideally in a year from launch. I think the 365th podcast would be amazing to do on some sort of like a cruise ship, a boat.
Oh, nice.
Out in international waters, in line with the smart contract in the metaverse. I don't know. It's just an idea, but I think it would be like symbolic of, folks who've made it through a year and the testimonials, and and that we're all sailing on the water. Everybody ROI'd and thriving and growing, but we'll have to get there and make some decisions to that point. But I think it would be a fantastic idea.
Count me in.
Hey, the great thing, you don't have to drive home, right?
Right.
If you're on a boat, you're just relaxing, go to bed, and maybe like a weekend cruise somewhere cool, where people can just relax and be themselves and get to have conversations, and maybe give out some prizes, rewards, and eat some fantastic food, sit out and get some sun. Don't get me started. Plenty to do, but yeah, we look forward to meeting you guys in person one day. I've had the pleasure to have had many folks meet me from the event in crypto. I've got a guest here, Mr. Air Fryer. He's part of Bridge DeFi, and he's been in crypto for about 10 years and been on a lot of projects and advisors, like the refinery, the H&W refinery. I don't know if you remember that project. He was involved in that with SK, Crypto K. He's part of that whole thing. So he arrived here on Friday, actually. Yeah. Here visiting for a few days. So some people, when I extend the invitation, they actually act on it. So really fun. I'm connected, Coach. Really in the zone here. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you. Going to be a lot more efficient in the next 3-4 hours I still have left to get a lot of work done. Are there any questions or comments, guys? All right, folks. Well, I think we're going to bring tonight's podcast to a close. I want to thank all of you who have participated and been here with us this evening. And for those of you that are listening to the podcast at a later date through the recording, I hope that you found the conversation interesting. If you had questions, they were answered throughout the podcast. And we will be here tomorrow to do it again. Same time, 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. UTC. If you have any questions regarding the staggered launch, how to deposit your NFTs, or just any other question you may have regarding this process, please feel free to come to the VC or DM me or any of our admins. We'd be happy to help you and serve you and make sure that you've got all the information required to manage the investment. All right, folks. Have a great night. We're going to hang out here for a little bit, but you can end the recording, Mr. Fortunate, please.